Have a great show.
Thank you, honey.
Are you ready for some has-beens? Gather round, let's get loud for the mega halftime show. We don't need the NFL with their woke do-si-dos. We like our entertainers to be loyal to our man and to speak his name at every game or as much as they can. When football takes a halfway break, we all switch to Fox News to see how the left failed again as Donald Trump lets loose. No taking knees, wokey woke, just good old Americans. White owners with their trophy brides and salutes from J.D. Vance. It's halftime in America. Kid Rock sings patriotic. Where tariffs work, Greenland's took, and everything's idiotic. It's halftime in America. No Oak March, Taylor Green, where we will frame the big football game as our usual live on A. With Bale, Sorbo, Schneider to the Quaid you love to hate. Roseanne Barr, Nicki Minaj, and guys like Andrew Tate. We don't care about no Epstein names. Hoodoo MAGA on the stump. And don't go lying about our guy or say Epstein hung with Trump. Yes, it's halftime in America. Voting's been nationalized. There's tons of bans on everything trans. And we've proven all his lies. It's halftime in America. Where Elon's a friend again. Where Epstein time is not a crime. And America's great again. Oh! Oh!
God. Oh.
Really hate that sad loser, Mr. Newberger.
Who, me?
Where did you find that, Whimsy? That's good.
Love Mr. Newberger.
I do too. I do
He was
too.
the soulmate that got away.
Really? I know what that's like. I've had a few soulmates get away.
I just think he's brilliant, and I love to use our platform to promote Mr. Newberg AI Funnies. Be sure and check him out over at his channel. Let's give him lots of business. How you doing, my love? How you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've just been doing the assistant thing for you, making phone calls to people and appointments. And there was one I made a little boo-boo that I'm going to fix later. But
you made a boo-boo. Well, I don't think I'd worry about it.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it.
But, did you kill a patient?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Have you ever killed a patient?
Never yet. Never yet.
Have I ever killed a patient?
Oh, no, not the impact.
You know what? I think we're doing better than most American doctors.
I guess we are. You're right. That's a good
wait a
point.
minute. If we're quacks, I guess we're quacks because I'm a licensed naturopath and you're actually a licensed.
I'm an assistant quack.
Yeah, you're a physician's assistant. So if we're crazy, how come our patients are doing better than theirs?
Well, I guess it's because we lift spirits and we make people laugh. What do you think, Whimsy?
And I don't think the human body has changed much in the last 100,000 years. So I think,
and you're an anthropologist. You know that.
I know. I got a second PhD I'm working on. You know, the thing, I know, I just collect degrees. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey folks.
But the human body hasn't changed much, which is why good old-fashioned nutrition, diet, exercise, all the old stuff still works. It's the same old.
And just old-fashioned laughter, happiness, joy, lifting our endorphins, lifting our spirits.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see you all. I, of course, am broadcasting from beautiful Portland, Oregon. Be sure and tell us all where you're coming from.
Well, I'm coming from Los Angeles.
You're coming from Los Angeles.
The Los Feliz neighborhood of Los Angeles, a very interesting neighborhood where we have millionaires, movie stars, and middle class living side by side.
And California gold.
Yeah, that too.
Texas soil, Texas. We got that stuff there going on.
I can honestly say Angelina Jolie is my neighbor. 5 minutes down the street,
She is his neighbor. That's actually true.
Yeah, it's not like I could bring her a basket of Welcome Wagon muffins or anything, but she is my neighbor.
You ever bump into her?
No, never have. Nah, not like I see her in the grocery store or anything like that.
Right. So tell us who's here.
Who's here today? Well,
in the world. Hello, everyone. Great to see you all.
Yeah.
Where are you coming from? What you eating? What you drinking? Tell us. Welcome to the. This is our happy hour Thursday.
Yes, it is. And I'm just drinking water right now.
I'm having a green tea. This is actually genma chai, which has toasted brown rice as well, which takes away some of that flavor that people don't like. It makes it a much more mellow tea.
Well, you're doing better than me. This is just plain old water, but it does the job. But anyway, we have, of course, our wonderful floor director, Joel Tilson, here. And I see he's already peppering us with some questions and comments here.
Hi, Joel.
We have, and you have to excuse my eyes here. I'm still waiting to get my new contact lenses.
Dear. How is your eye, by the way?
Oh, it's much better. Much better. Okay. I'm going in for a follow-up, but I assume everything went fine. I had a little, for any of you who don't know by now, I had a small tear in my retina and I had a little 5-minute laser procedure. Everything should be just fine, but that's what's going on. But we have here Angela Baker. Did I say that right? Z90. We have Rockin' Pony Lady. I know how to say that. Okay. Hi, Rockin' Pony Lady. The Sybil 5D. Please pardon me. I'm having to get close to the screen here to read. Jess Miskey.
Mushroom coffee. That sounds healthy. That's what Sybil's having.
I've had that. It is good. Let's see. Jillian Duff 5181. I am sorry if I'm mangling names. I'm a little half blind right now. Brenda Rakestraw. We have Just Never Again. FSU 4031. We have Gigi here. We have Phoenix. I need Wednesday. I'm in trouble. I can't see very well. I might have to have you. No, that's making it worse.
Well, we'll keep saying hi as we go.
This is embarrassing. I'm on live, but
it's okay. Listen, Chuck, what do you think of the new book? We got a new book here, people. We got a new book. Chuck, can you tell the audience a little bit about what our book is for the Book of the Month?
Well, it is. I had to reach for my book there. It is a beautiful collection of short stories, set in Ireland. And, we've talked before about how so many great literary people, artists have come out of Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and it's just, it's what I love. We both love about short stories. It's nice bite-sized portions. It's a great little way to end your day before you go to bed to read a story. I'm just getting started into this, but I'm enjoying it very much.
Yeah, and some of them are so short you can read 2 or 3. Like, if you want to read like the short Irish Empathy is only a couple of pages, but that's what I like about some of them are a little bit longer, like The Power of the Thumb, might take you closer to 10, 15 minutes. But what I like about, and some of them are just little thoughts. Some of them are very short. But I like these because I need something to help me unwind. I don't think too much blue light is a good idea at night.
Oh, no, it's not. That's been proven. It's said that we should not be looking at our phones, our tablets, our computers, for at least an hour or two before we go to bed. And I certainly violate that. I'm many times scrolling through my phone.
I think it's really not good. It's not good. What I do instead now is I'll listen to some meditative music, or I'll strum and play my guitar, or I play my violin, and then I will spend about 15, 20 minutes on a good book. And I picked this book not only because I loved the concept, but I loved the fact that I wasn't holding on until the next day.
Yeah.
I was able to like complete the story. And
Yeah,
then,
because sometimes that happens to me when I'm in a really good novel. It's hard to put it down sometimes.
Mhm.
Like when you need to go to bed and you need to unwind, and yet you want to see what's going to happen next. This is more digestible and something you can put down.
Right. So we're looking forward to having Cat Coach in our studios. We may have to pre-tape. We're still working out the details.
Yes, because you said she's in South Africa.
She is in South Africa.
I'm excited about that.
I think it's all amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get to everybody's questions. It looks like we already have 215 people here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
That's on YouTube, and we have another couple hundred over on Facebook and Instagram and X. I want to acknowledge everybody who's here from all of our platforms.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into it. Also give a warm shout out everybody as he enters the virtual stage, the all-powerful Joel Tilson.
Yeah.
He's basically, how would you describe Joel Tilson's role? I think of him as kind of like, who's the guy that runs SNL, Saturday Night Live? Lorne Michaels.
Oh, Lorne Michaels. Yes. Yeah. And he's been doing it. Do you know he's been doing it for like 50 years?
I think he'd be burned out, right?
I think
of Joel is like Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, Lorne Michaels, I think, took a little break for a while, like a year, 2-3 years, but he came back. But he's basically been doing it for half a century now.
He does it all. He's the producer. He does some floor directing. I mean, he's a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Lorne Michaels is a taskmaster, though. I'm not saying that about Joel Tilson, but I've been lucky to meet a number of people who have been on SNL over the years, and they've told me stories about Lorne, about how he purposely encourages survival of the fittest. Like he just takes all these comedians, throws them together, and lets them fight it out to see who's going to get the airtime and who's going to survive and who's going to flounder. That's his method.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be our Joel Tilson, though.
Oh my God, that would be terrifying. All right. Joel Tilson writes, Iran seizes 2 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz along with crews today. Oh. So one way to avoid an invasion is you start kidnapping Americans. What do you think about that?
I tell you, it's intensifying because, this is what you've been saying all along with Grok, the fall of Iran. It's happening. And we've been getting that in our readings, that it's happening. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be kicking and screaming and fighting back. In the meantime, they're going to resist with all their might. So I didn't know about this. I didn't see this in the news today.
Well, I think that, look,
that's very serious.
I think it's what you said, fighting for their lives. And can they even guarantee their safety in Russia, considering what happened to Assad, the former president of Syria, who himself fled to Moscow? And there were recent reports that he had been poisoned. So you have to also ask yourself whether or not Iranian leadership could be safe in Russia, or if Russia is going to resent footing the bill protecting all of these ex-despots that have fled to Moscow.
I think it's more of the latter, resenting footing the bill for this. Yeah, I think it's inevitable what's happening, but we're just watching the kicking and screaming.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that they'll negotiate a release of Maduro as well.
Really?
Like Maduro will most likely go to Moscow or some other place rather than going back to Venezuela.
Yeah, I think we even got that in some readings. I mean, I think initially we were seeing Maduro going to France, going to Paris, where there's family. But no, it looks definitely more like Moscow is the likely choice.
No. Maduro is probably going to be part of a release exchange with Russia, and we'll probably go with Russia.
Yeah.
The former Shah of Iran's family is
that's what it was.
It is in exile in France.
Okay.
But the Ayatollah, he's been negotiating, also escaping to Moscow, which is where the former president of Syria escaped to. Mm-hmm. But rumors are that Putin doesn't like these house guests. He wants them to leave. Like, okay, I can give you a week or two, but you got to move on. Well, move on to where?
Yeah, where? I'm thinking about that saying about...
That's one way to get rid of your house guests. You poison them with ricin, right?
Well, that's certainly Putin's way.
Goodbye, Assad, President Assad.
Yeah, I keep thinking of that saying about house guests. After they're like fish, after 3 days, they start going bad. You want to get them out. But Putin would probably poison them. You're right. Let's see. More bombshell reports from the Epstein files today. more.
Yes. You want to talk about that?
Well, sure. Where do we begin here? There's been more stuff certainly about the former Prince Andrew. There are things about Sarah Ferguson.
Yeah, let's talk about
the
that.
Clintons are going to be testifying. Where do we begin?
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the royal family, because I think that that's the biggest shocker of all. And I think that's the thing that everybody's freaking out about. Statements that, oops, let me just see if I can find it for people. We do have a Sky News report that came out that was an expose. And I have to say, to have a conservative company like Sky News throw her to the wolves.
Yeah.
It's like they have to decide who they can save and which fish they're throwing back in the lake.
The British press has always been vicious to Sarah Ferguson.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I just remember, when I used to go to England in the 1980s, and I'm sure you've seen the British tabloids, they're far more vicious than the American. And I used to see really insulting, mean things. Like, they would make fun of her weight, her physical appearance. I remember there was a Sunday magazine in one of the newspapers, and they had a picture of a beautiful model walking down a runway, and then they showed Sarah wearing the same dress, and the caption was "From catwalk to fat walk." I mean, really insulting stuff. So they've always had it out for her.
It seems like marrying into this family is never a good idea.
No.
Let's go ahead and see this news report from Sky Bolt. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump's Justice Department has just dumped the Epstein files, 3 million pages and 180,000 images from the investigation into the late pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, let's pause it there. I just want to make that comment also. What do you think the average person is? How do you think the average person is dealing with the fact that the dump has been so bad? I think we should open up with that before we even go further. Yeah. This has been a nightmare dump. The victims are horrified. They've accidentally released some terrible things.
Oh yeah, more and more I'm seeing why King Charles reacted the way he did. King Charles undoubtedly had access to all of the files for him to take that action against his brother, and it seemed at the time like, wow, this is really harsh, or even taking away his prince title. Now it looks like King Charles acted quite responsibly, did the right thing. There's so much disgusting stuff about Andrew, and there's so much more coming out about him and Sarah Ferguson.
Friend of presidents, royalty, tycoons, and famous people all over the world. And this is just going to add to the disgust over how such a creep and a user, a man already convicted for soliciting sex from a 14-year-old, still had so many people at his beck and call, looking for maybe the young girls he pimped out, or the money he handed out, or the favors he...
Yeah. I want to pause this one more time. What do you think about the rumors about the honeypots that were going on? So, for example, you had horrible stories coming out about Ehud Barak, but he was by far not the only one. I mean, there were a lot of horrible people doing terrible things. Do you what kind of money schemes do you think were going on? Because I have some ideas myself about what kind of money schemes were going on.
I would love to hear your ideas, but obviously huge. I mean, it's almost like Andrew is being used as a pawn, his access to the royal family, his connections, international connections. But I don't know, what would you have in mind, Whimsy?
Well, I think it's interesting that they have this idea of honeypots, and then you have this Russian connection, and it goes back to this fear that I have that the United States would be taken over by Russia, just as Israel fell to Russia. Israel fell to Russia in the sense that we had over 1 million Russians that immigrated from Russia to Israel, and overnight, a fairly liberal country became this right-wing kind of Donald Trump MAGA country, and that's how quickly a country can fall. But now they're
our own country,
right? And now, well, it's like he started with the smaller countries, Venezuela, Israel, etc., and then Putin moved on to larger players. But this was part of a series of honeypots that Ehud Barak, the Israelis, Putin, they were blackmailing people, and they were getting intel. And evidently, Prince Andrew brought them a lot of people, which also leads you want to ask the question, were they having orgies at Balmoral Castle? Because it wasn't just Ghislaine and Jeff and Andrew at Balmoral. There were parties. And so I think this is far more hideous and far more
Oh,
horrible than
absolutely.
people are even saying.
I'm even thinking something like Balmoral Castle being used as a bribe. Like, hey, come spend the night here in the castle, have your orgy here, wherever. It's almost like presidents who used to do that with the Lincoln bedroom. Hey, you want to sleep in the Lincoln bedroom? You know, what other perks can we do? You know, things like that.
I didn't know that about the Lincoln bedroom. Oh,
Yeah. What about the Lincoln bedroom?
Oh my God. Let's take a look at some more.
Yeah.
He might do. Now, top of the list of Andrew is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrews. This time filmed propped over a woman like a hungry dog, other photos of him pawing her. And then there's the British ambassador, Lord Peter Mandelson, snapped here in his underpants. Epstein gave Mandelson and his husband more than $100,000. Although Mandelson says, oh, I don't quite remember that. Strange memory. Mandelson has now lost his job as ambassador and resigned from the Labour Party. And there's so much more. I mean, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, he was at the Australian Open Women's Final on Saturday. He was an Epstein crony. And Epstein claims Gates got a sexually transmitted disease from a Russian woman that Epstein supplied. Gates says it's all lies.
Let's talk about that. That's another thing that we wanted to talk about on Thursday, had to do with the revelations that are starting to come out about Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates.
Oh, yes.
Melinda Gates. You want to talk
Melinda?
about
Well, that was quite something, that statement from Melinda Gates the other day.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, you okay, Whimsy?
Yeah, I just dropped my tea. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, well, you know, you sent me the video of Melinda Gates. I'm sure most people have seen it by now, and she was just conveying all of her disgust. And now we know why the marriage ended so seemingly abruptly. And also, you know, she and Bill Gates had that foundation together, a very powerful charitable foundation. And she was saying it was just as painful to have to walk away from that as it was to the marriage.
I couldn't figure out why she gave up. The only reason that she would give up the foundation is if foundation money was somehow linked to this. And that's,
you know, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stop this for now. We'll do the empath prayer and we'll go in. And this was the number one question this week, had to do with revelations on people linked to the Epstein files.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know,
and to Sarah Ferguson and the statements that she's made, that I want to marry you. She talked about wanting to marry Epstein. This leads me to think that she had romantic interest in Epstein as well.
Well, we've always known she's been a woman to chase after a buck. You know, she lives a very big lifestyle, and that takes a lot of money to support. So she's been doing this for decades, this type of thing. But this is just one of the more disturbing aspects of it. But I was going to say also, you know, at least King Charles did take some sort of action. It's been pointed out, why hasn't the Prime Minister taken more action against Mendelson, you know, in the House of Lords?
Right.
Yeah, that, you know, it's like the King Charles has actually been more proactive in this.
The other thing that you have to think about, given the fact that there are so many allegations and there is so much evidence, why aren't these people being prosecuted? Well, why isn't there an investigation? And why are their names being redacted? Like if somebody writes and says, oh, thank you for sending me that 9-year-old child. There was an email about a 9-year-old child from Brazil. Like, why did you redact that name? We'd like to know who's sending 9-year-old children from Brazil. Yeah. And it makes me immediately think about Donald Trump's modeling agency that was importing models from all over the world. And here we have a story about some child.
Miss Universe, the Miss Universe pageant and all that, you know.
Was it Brunel or was it Trump, or who were they protecting when they erased that name?
Yeah.
You know,
it's just astounding. I mean, it's like we talked about this just not that long ago. You know, it's a cliche to say the tip of the iceberg, but it is like just the tip of the iceberg. Like there's so much more that's going to come to light. We've been picking that up in our readings as well. This is just the beginning. And look how catastrophic and devastating this much has been. Yeah.
Let's see what people have to say. Prime Minister says, let's say, Starter is getting roasted because of Mendelson. He knew Mendelson was mixed up with Epstein. Exactly.
Yeah.
So another comment. The Sybil 5D watched Rachel Maddow the other night, and she gave a complete history of how many and how big they are in SLC. It was proposed to be larger than their whole state's prisons. SLC. What is SLC? Oh, the ICE. Is that for ICE?
I don't know.
Probably ICE.
I know that, that's another story, about how ICE is now buying all of these buildings and warehouses to be used for future detention camps.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have another comment that I wanted to get to. Let's see here. This one I thought you would want to. Charles, no, the associate with the 2 other pedophiles. What about the fact that there were links to other known pedophiles like Jimmy Salva? What was his name?
I'm not sure.
Jimmy, what was his name?
I can't remember. Savos.
Yeah. So there were other links. I'm going to pick up my.
Yeah.
While I pick up my thing.
It's also been pointed out, here in America, we've had a lot of women speaking out, but people have wondered, well, what about over in Europe? Like with what's going on with Prince Andrew and Epstein. And I saw an article today that said a lot of those women don't even speak English. They don't know how to speak up. They don't know how to get hurt, but there's so many victims out there.
Huh.
Yeah. How's it going? Whimsy, I'm watching your camera going up and down. It's almost like your camera has its own life, its own body.
Well, I paid for new professional equipment, so it gets me while I walk around.
It was making a little adjustment there, I think. There it is. It's moving around again.
Yeah, it's heat sensitive. Hello.
It's heat sensitive. You mean like a heat-seeking missile? It's following you around.
It's one of those expensive new cameras that you use when you go live and do
an invasive camera.
Because you people are worth it. You guys are worth it.
You are worth it.
Well, Chucky Poo, I think we need to do the empath prayer because we have so many questions.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about this because first off, it's a Hot Topics Thursday. Whew, that overhead light is starting to get to me. It's Hot Topics Thursday, but also this was the number one issue and that people wanted to talk about. I think the reason why people wanted to talk about it is number one, people are in shock.
Mm-hmm. That's for certain.
And I think the other reason, I know I'm in shock. First off, that it's all true, that the rumors we heard about this sort of thing could be true. I think we're all in shock about that. And I think we're shocked that anybody could be this much of a psychopath.
Well, then anybody could be.
That there's this many psychopaths in the world. And
evil.
they seem to be running things,
It's like pure evil.
Yeah.
So much evil. And I think maybe it's naivete on our parts, but I can't help but be shocked by it, that people could go to these depths. No more respect for another human being than this.
Well, the good news is most human beings are not like that. And we have to remind ourselves that most human beings would never do these types of world. This is the sickest of the sick.
It is the sickest.
And they have to be exposed. I don't care if it's a Democrat that gets exposed, an Israeli that gets exposed. I just want it exposed, and they should be held 100% accountable.
Well, I see the ultimate good coming out of this is that these people are being rooted out. They're being outed. The truth is rapidly coming to the surface. All of this evil is being exposed, and there is already accountability starting to happen. Reckoning, which has to be. Firehorse Year will reveal and change the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Joel. That's exactly what we're seeing. Whimsy, it's like it's not even the Firehorse Year yet. And I was telling you before the show, I feel it already. I feel it. It's just my life is accelerating. And I think you felt the same way. Others are feeling it. I don't want to say scary, but it's definitely something that we're all going to have to acclimate to. This is a new way of living. And you've also pointed out things like we need to be on anti-inflammatory diets. We need to be conscious of our stress levels. As you
we are being put through the wash. We are being put through a wash.
Through the
fire and water and purification. It's like a food job. It's like we went to some spa where they were like roasting us and shoving us in an ice bath. And just like we are going to be put through the ringer this year. And I always think about that: chop wood, carry water, and just live simple lives. I'm not going to be traveling like I did in 2026. I am not traveling like I did in 2027. I think you and I are planning some trip in the next month or two. Where are we
planning something?
Like, we haven't even decided. He and I are going to Europe. We figured that much out. Chuck and I are going to Europe probably this spring. We just
let's see.
Probably before May.
Initially, I was thinking Italy, but you made some nice suggestions about France.
Well, I thought it might be nice for you and I to spend a little time in the south of France. We could get a nice Airbnb. We could shoot some videos. We could, But I know you love.
Maybe we can do a live from Europe. We'll have to.
Well, I know. We've already seen the UK. I think that. I think we had close. It was going to be Spain, Italy, or France. We were going to do live.
I love all three countries, so I'm up for grabs.
I think we toss it. I think we're going to wind up in France. I think you and I are going to France.
I think it's kind
of. So I think we can fly direct to Paris, which is nice also.
Oh, Paris. I've been there 4 times in my life. I haven't been.
I found a great hotel in Paris that has 2 bedrooms, a door that separates us both. So we only pay for 1 hotel room, but you get your own room.
That's cool. That's great.
Apartment hotel on the outskirts.
I hope it's not one of those old hotels where you've got 1 bathroom and it's in the hallway. I had that happen once. You had to get in line in your bathrobe and hold your toothbrush and wait for.
I won't do that to us. I won't do that to us. Okay.
No,
but if I can get us a deal like where we only, that would be better. Listen, you guys. Okay, great. So I'm thinking we're probably going to France. Okay. I think just because that was what resonated. I love Italy too. I don't know.
Well, we're still kind of.
We're going
wishy-washy. We're just going back and forth with options.
We're going somewhere. All right. Be sure and give us your name or the name of the person you want us to pray for, and we will include them both in our. We will include them in our prayers today as we bring in the M-Paz prayer. If you haven't had a chance yet to share, like, and subscribe to the channel, Chuck and I would be very, very grateful. We are gently, passionately moving towards 100,000 subscribers and over 20,000 subscribers now on Facebook. And of course, also check out the fans of the Oracle of Whimsy pages as well.
That's exciting. I mean,
so we're doing great.
I'm just so proud to be doing this with you, Whimsy. And doing this with all of you. And it's just been such a journey. And you've taken me in unexpected directions. What was it, 3-4 years ago? And you said, Chuck, you want to do the show with me? And I'm like, Whimsy, I don't know if I can go on live and do something like this. And you were like, sure, you can.
Doing great. All right, let's do
Loving it.
Bring in the M-Paz prayer.
Okay, let's bring it in.
Okay. I want to call on I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. And for those people who are requesting a healing at this time, we come together at this time and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed.
May all souls be healed.
May all souls be healed.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Lots going on. So getting back to our discussion, I think that a lot of people get scapegoated. And one of the things I've noticed with this Epstein list is how many people are on the list trying to make it out like the other person is worse than they are.
Yeah.
You're both horrible.
Of course.
Clinton and Trump, you're both horrible. You're equally horrible. It's not like because I'm a registered Democrat, I'm going to say, well, when Clinton gets together with Virginia Giuffre, that's molest her or whatever, or the multiple accusations of sexual assaults against by Clinton. They were two peas in a pod. They were two womanizing creeps. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Oh, it just comes down to is that your phone? I think that's you.
It is. How do I turn it off?
I don't know. It's not me. For once, it's not me.
Oh, I don't know
how. A little
how.
something in your upper screen there. It tells you to decline the call.
No, it's not stopping.
It's not. Folks, the fire horse. I don't know what's going on. It's just strange energy right now.
Oh my goodness.
Lucky people put up with
Let's see.
all our little foibles.
Did they stop?
It stopped.
I had to mute myself.
Mute yourself. Oh, Whimsy, never mute yourself. Just your phone. But I just thought usually it's me. I'm the one at fault.
It's your fault.
It's not me this time, Anyway, what were you asking me, Whimsy? We got off track there.
I can't remember. So let's go back to this fire horse energy and the
let's get back to this fire horse.
Don't you think that this? Okay, look. Here's the thing, folks. Don't you think it's necessary that we got to go through all this crap?
I tend to think it is. And the reason I say that is because I have documented my life in journals for about 45 years. And I've said this before, that many times when something makes no sense in the moment, you go and look ahead in your journal, read back on it, and you go, oh, yeah, well, this wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened had I not gone through that crap there. There's like a valuable lesson we needed to learn, or some sort of reckoning, or just more self-awareness. It's like the book we had, the power of truth. And sometimes it can be very unpleasant, but ultimately it yields gifts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The White House has raised tensions in the Middle East by threatening to drop the Melania movie on Iran.
Oh, now that's a bomb. That's a bomb. I saw a terrible cartoon. It was Melania and Trump in the Oval Office, and she's going, my movie is a bomb. My movie is bad. Go invade some country or something right now.
They're spinning it as best sales for a documentary, 8 million. Coneheads made 8 million its opening. Coneheads, which was a flop.
See that it did do a surprise $7 million, but I even wonder if they tinkered with the figures or something. I could be wrong on this, but I think the movie was such a flop that they put it on Amazon the same day it came out in theaters to try to save face.
Are you serious?
I think so. I haven't had my TV on for days. I haven't looked at Amazon to see if it's on there, but I did read that Bezos was going to do that.
I think a lot of people are going to see it just now because there's some kind of morbid curiosity.
Well, that's a good point. It could develop a cult following. The reviews I've read of it just say basically it's just a vanity project. It's a chance for Melania to look beautiful and flip her hair around, and basically no substance whatsoever. And supposedly Bezos made the movie as a little bit of a bribe to the Trumps to get in their good favor.
Well, Europe released the unredacted Epstein files. Let's throw some cards, or you can use the pendulum if that.
Well, let me start with the good old-fashioned yes or no on that, because it's like with King Charles. So I saw a comment. Someone was saying, "Well, why is it he can get the files but we can't?" So we've said this before. People have them; they're going to come out. But the question is, Europe, right? Will it come out in Europe? Will the files be released in Europe?
The only reason to be protecting Trump and not releasing it is if Europe is worried that they infuriate Trump, they're not going to get a good deal for their country. So it's more like holding on to it, but too afraid to release it because of the implications to their own country. They piss Donald Trump off.
But Whimsy, don't you think most of the European leaders know Trump is a lame duck right now anyway? They're waiting for J.D. Vance. So they're more worried about J.D. than they are Trump. But let's see. Will the European files get... Well, I'm kind of getting it's weird, not a perfect yes, but it's leaning strongly to yes, because I get more like pieces of it are kind of come out in different directions. Too many people have it. But when I ask, like, are the complete Epstein files coming out? I don't get it like coming out in one whole body, but we will get it one way or the other. Now, what do you have, Whimsy?
There are people that are holding on to contraband, including child sex tapes, and that there will be a raid by Interpol, and that will be a confiscation of documents, tapes, etc., which include links to Epstein and high-powered people, and that is how additional records are going to be seized. We have this lovers' cooperation that begins to happen, so that the EU does start to get this kind of information and expose, but you also see some kind of police raid is coming.
Yeah.
And they're going to expose it. Look at that sun.
Yo, I feel it's definitely coming out.
Somebody is holding on to contraband. There is somebody, or possibly somewhere in Europe, I don't know if it's France or Britain or where, but there's somebody that's got a ton of contraband in their apartment, home, and they're going to get raided.
Well, and I also feel like people have been holding on to this for leverage. I've even wondered about Elon Musk, if he's had all the files, but this is a perfect leverage to use with Trump to get his way.
It would explain why he was telling people to back off Putin, because of Putin, who was part of the honeypots that were with Epstein. Oh, you're smart. Oh, I see where you went there, Chucky Poo. I went there with you, Chucky Poo. I see. So what Chucky Poo is saying is that if Elon Musk was compromised, possibly in a honeypot that involved Putin, that is why he's kissing Putin's ass. Because it couldn't be money. The guy's worth $1 trillion. How much money does the guy need?
Yeah, exactly. The richest man in the world.
So it has to be something else. And you just answered the question. I was always wondering what that was. That's the answer. So why is he turning on Putin now? Why is Elon Musk turning on Putin now? Unless he has some kind of insurances or something that or this information is already out and he can't stop. I mean, I don't know why he would be now starting to cut. Starlink would be starting to cut help at this point, unless it was too late for him to. Either he's got some control of the narrative. Why is he turning on Putin if Putin's blackmailing him? Yeah.
It's like what you just said earlier. Maybe he has enough, quote unquote, insurance now where he can be more brazen about this.
That just flew right over my head, and yet it makes so much sense.
Yeah, but and what was it you were telling me at the beginning of the show about Starlink? And
that's what Joel Tilson was saying.
Yeah, that was it, Joel Tilson. And it's like, and I said to you, it's like Elon is like just a high-powered vigilante. You know, it's like, I'm going to make decisions for the whole planet right now. It's like he's the one who's trying to take over the world, doing things like that. I mean, it can be used for good, but it could certainly be bad later on, or both.
Yeah. So Russia and Ukraine exchanged prisoners today. What do you think about peace talks resume? I'm not feeling too optimistic. Are you, Chuck?
No, I tried to look more into that today. I didn't see too much. I saw the news headline that there were there's peace talks in Abu Dhabi, and they used the word quote unquote productive. We had a productive day of talks. I didn't see too much more than that. So that's interesting. So exchange of prisoners today.
Let's look at how things are going with the Russia-Ukraine war. So in America zone, a peace zone run by the United States. Putin doesn't want that because Putin won't get access to the assets.
Yeah. And the trade routes.
That's right. Elon has his own new trade route he's developing.
I'd say, Whimsy, could you just phrase the question one more time? I want to make sure I'm on track.
Right. What's the future when it comes to the war with Ukraine and Russia? What are you feeling? I'm seeing a stalemate. I can go first.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here. That's why I'm a little stuck on this stalemate.
More money coming in, Page of Pentacles. So Ukraine is getting more money, but its opposition is Two of Swords, not budging. hopes and fears, death and transformation, and then you have the devil, which is being chained. It's Putin. They will not accept defeat on the battlefield.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I told you I was getting that stalemate kind of feeling. You know how I sometimes. I'm so sorry. Did I interrupt you while you were still?
Oh, I'm done.
Sorry, I'm here looking at my cards. I'm in my little world here, but whenever I get the community card, that usually means all the people of the country. I think in this case, people of Ukraine. I found it interesting. It was upside down, and that's why I was getting the kind of that stagnation. I was getting loss. Still a lot of restrictions, but didn't you get death? Because that's what I got.
Yeah.
Death. Yeah. It's
6 months though. It falls to Ukraine. It's moving towards victory for Ukraine because the 6 of Wands fell with Ukraine.
Yeah, because I know in the past we have gotten readings that show ultimate victory for Ukraine, but what we're doing is reading in the moment, the energy of now, and I think both of us got that stagnant, stalemate kind of stuck. That's what I was feeling, stuck.
Yeah, don't leave questions before we go live because they won't be preserved. Only questions that have been recorded when we are live will be preserved. Sorry about that, Jill.
Sorry.
We lose questions. Yes, we are sorry.
Oh.
So what are you feeling about the fact that, I don't know if you heard about this, Kamala Harris is doing research about a possible run in 2028, they say.
Really?
After saying she wasn't going to run.
Yeah.
That appears to be what they're saying. She's got some kind of research committee she's starting.
Yeah, that is intriguing because you and I both have felt she would be much happier either as the Attorney General or a seat on the Supreme Court, which actually might give her more power.
Well, the reason why people want her in the Supreme Court is because you wouldn't be able to fire her and because it's equal. Yeah. And we want to stack the bench with.
She's only like 61. She could be on the court for another 20 years or more.
Yes,
be quite powerful.
She's in excellent health.
Yeah,
she takes very good care of herself.
Exactly.
Except for frying the bacon, you got to give her and Michelle Obama keep talking about bacon. I'm like, don't you know that stuff's bad for your heart? You're married to a nice Jewish boy. Come on, turkey bacon.
Yeah,
we want to keep you around a little longer.
But I was going to say, my hit is maybe she's just exploring all the options. She's a smart woman. She's a lawyer. She's just looking at all the variables, sticking her toe in the water, see what it might look like. But I still feel like she might ultimately lobby for a Supreme Court appointment.
The other thing is that people feel she will take the primary, that if she primaries, because she is the most well-known candidate and she had the most time to develop her campaign, that she will probably sweep the primary, in which case she has a very good chance by 2028. The American people are going to know who she is. She's going to have much better chances in 2028.
I think so too, because she always said that. I have yet to read her book and I want to very much, but she didn't have enough time. It was so unconventional how she got the nomination, and she didn't go through the primary process, which was ultimately to her detriment. You're right. This might make the difference.
Well, we all know who we're voting for, right? So, I mean,
I did volunteer work for her.
I feel, as much as I love the idea of her as an AG, as soon as a Republican gets in there, she'll be fired, and she can start the work. She might not be able to complete it, but I don't know. We just have to get out the vote. We have to be proactive. We have to just make sure everybody's registered before 2026. We need to we've already pretty much taken back the House. I mean, the House is a joke. I mean, it's lame duck.
Oh yeah.
But we really now is the time to be more mobilized and start to get our ducks in order for 2026, 2028. Please go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we have been feeling that the energy is very good for the Democrats to take the White House back. 2020. JD is going to be a seat filler. He's going to be like Gerald Ford for Nixon.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. I think they would have to do some major work on his personality in order to have people vote for him in 2028, because the very racism that put Trump in the White House is the racism that makes them not like JD Vance because of who his wife is.
Oh yeah.
She's this Hindu from, this foreign Hindu. So it's going to be real hard to get the average GOP to support him. Certainly, MAGA.
They're certainly trying to rehabilitate and reinvent his image right now.
I don't think they can.
Well, I don't know that they can either, but they're certainly giving it a try.
Usha's pregnant again too.
Oh, I know.
Like, the guy that talks about her like that. Like,
I said this on the show 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I even apologized if I was being crude or inappropriate, but I just found the timing of the pregnancy a little suspicious around the time where he's really rehabilitating himself, his image, the family man. He's about to be the president. Let's face it, he's going to be the president soon. So perfect for him to have another kid. And I almost wonder if they did plan the pregnancy.
God, it's pretty sad.
Well, and also, as I said before, and I'm not trying to be inappropriate here, but there have been plenty of gay rumors around JD France.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just perfect. Hey, I got 4 kids. I just fathered another kid. It all plays into that.
Right.
Maybe that sounds cynical, but I live in Los Angeles where a lot of Hollywood people do that to save their images. So it goes on in Washington too.
Wow. Clinton fair with closed door hearings with Congress. How do you feel about that?
Well, what I hope is they get their way and they have open hearings that are televised. That's what Hillary Clinton is pushing for right now. She even said, look, you claim you want transparency. We want to give you transparency. Let's do it before the public. So I don't know if they're going to get their way or not.
Let's see.
Yeah. Now, what are we asking? How they're going to fare?
Yeah, let's look at their cards. Let's look at their cards.
Okay. Oh, I like the card that just came out. I like it. I'm just going to say what I got first. It made me smile. Truth. A lot of truth is going to come up. The candle, the illumination, truth, and it's going to be the truth about a lot of shame. And right now there's a lot of competition between the Republicans, the Democrats, the Clintons. They're fighting out of that, but I see a certain sense of grace that's going to emerge. The Clintons are going to come out of this well. I think they're going to bring a lot of truth to the light. They know what they're doing.
I feel that in a way there's tremendous grief here that this has destroyed Clinton's legacy. It has destroyed their legacy because you have this opposition coming after them, this violent opposition. But the Clintons present as defensive, 9 of Wands, and also grieving what they have lost. So they lost their reputations from this.
Well, it
destroyed their reputations.
Yeah, it's been pointed out how powerful both of the Clintons once were in influencing Democratic policies, and now they're kind of lame ducks themselves, has-beens, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I do. What I was getting though is a lot of truth is going to come to the surface. Now, maybe that's not good truth for them, but
probably not.
That's the card that came up. Whatever this means, that I feel the Clintons know what they're doing. They're 2 extremely savvy people. In fact, I think the initial reason they wanted to testify was because they thought, well, now you're going to have to release the Epstein files. If you're accusing us of all this stuff, you've got to put that into the evidence now. I think that was part of the thinking. Of course, I know they were also ultimately forced to testify.
Right. That's
they would have been held in contempt of Congress. But now I'm wondering about my grace card here, what that could have meant ultimately, unless that means...
Well, grace is they're not going to be prosecuted because the truth of the matter is that Clinton should be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Juanita Broaddrick.
I'm almost wondering...
Brutally raping Juanita Broaddrick. I mean, Clinton, we all knew Clinton was a dirty dog. And I'm a registered Democrat, but I think he's one of the worst Democratic presidents we've ever had. Look at NAFTA.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'm wondering if the grace could mean like vindication for people. This is further vindication for the victims of Epstein. Maybe that's going to come out of it. But I'm just getting definite
drag them all out.
Well, Whimsy, also it was truth about shame. So a lot of shame is going to come up in the testimony. So maybe that's it. Sometimes when I get these cards, I have to interpret them on the spot very quickly. And I think that makes a little more sense. Will ICE be patrolling in front of voting stations? That was something that was, who said that today?
Nuts.
It was somebody today in regards, how Trump was talking about how he wants to nationalize the elections because there's all this cheating going on, in the elections, and he wants to cover it. And I think it was a result of that seat in Texas on Saturday that had been in a Republican stronghold, and it went to the Democrats, and it's got the Republicans very scared right now. And it was some high-ranking Republican, I'm trying to think who it was, who said that, well, we should just have ICE patrol the voting booths, which is absurd.
Fruitcakes.
Yeah.
Let's take a look and see if ICE is going to be patrolling voting stations.
Mm.
Voting
station. ICE patrol. Okay, I got it.
A lot
right up front, I got to know on that.
People have voluntarily left the United States for fear of being detained by ICE. There have been thousands and thousands of people that have just gotten on planes and left because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's just terrible. I wish I could think of the name of that high-ranking Republican who said that today. I was even looking to see if I had it in my notes. Oh, it was Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. I couldn't.
Steve Bannon's reputation is also trash.
I know that. That's why I'm surprised. I said high-ranking Republican. Yeah, right. But I have it in my notes here. Steve Bannon said he wants to send ICE to patrol election booths, and that was in response to what happened in Texas with the last election. Republicans are scared.
People want to know also what's going to become of Bannon. Is he going to be back in the administration? Is he going to prison? I mean, the fact that he was even producing a film to try and improve Epstein's reputation, that in and of itself should make people want to tar and feather Bannon. I have the devil card over this question, and also a 10 of wands, which is a heavy load that lay ahead. Complete confusion over everything that's coming out, and then in the end, a confidence comes. So, yeah, I think over the issue of who will be exposed, people like Clinton, I think that somebody had said that Clinton doesn't care about his reputation. There's a grief here as if he does.
Well, I think every president does. You know what? It was Rachel Farrah Griffin on The View. She used to work in the first Trump administration. She even said Trump cared about his legacy. "Quote unquote" legacy, his reputation, believe it or not. So I'm sure Clinton cares. It's going to be devastating. But but we were asking about the voting, about ICE, the voting booths. First of all, I got to know when I just went to the pendulum. They're like, no, that's going to be stopped. But I do get there is a lot of tug of war competition over it. But I got the New Beginnings card, which I always see. To me, that feels very positive. It feels like once we get Trump out, we get some of these other, we drain the swamp, so to speak.
Drain that
swamp. Yeah. And we have a new administration. And I'm just sensing that we're not going to go that low with ICE patrolling our voting booths. But they're certainly going to try.
I see fights and protests outside of voting areas. So the only thing that they could be bringing is fighting and protest, and it could be actual physical come to blows out if MAGA tries to harass people outside voting stations.
Well, you know what we're seeing? People are fed up, and they're standing up to ICE right now. And I could certainly see that getting a lot worse in the coming weeks. Like people getting out their own weapons and civil war in the streets. Do you feel that way, Whimsy? Like people are that angry right now?
I think that Trump is at a 36%. And so they're saying basically that he can't come back from this.
Oh, no, there's no way. Isn't it like the lowest any president in modern history has had?
Supposedly, according to the polling experts, if you dip below 42%, you go into danger zone. He's at 36.
36, yeah. Well, he's got his own base turning against him right now.
Well, they're saying that once it got to 42, they needed to be nervous about saving the House. When it got to 36, it's looking like a bloodbath. They can't save the House.
Yeah. It's so interesting. A lot of the MAGA supporters were polled Trump originally because of it wasn't ideology, but it was their frustration, their insecurities. They felt ignored. And here was Trump who validated them, made them feel validated, and they threw their trust to them. And now they see that they've been betrayed. Things aren't better. Housing isn't cheaper. Jobs aren't more stable. Life is not easier. Eggs didn't get cheaper at the grocery store. People feel lied to, let down, deceived.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. What about Mark Kelly for president? I saw that comment earlier, and I was thinking about what you said, Whimsy, how you were seeing like a really good man.
Oh, yeah.
A really good man becoming president and saving things. And I immediately thought of either Mark Kelly or Pete Buttigieg. I don't know if Pete Buttigieg has a chance, unfortunately, because I hate to say it, because he's gay. I don't know if he can get elected president. But Mark Kelly and Gabby Giffords.
But I don't know if Pete Buttigieg. I thought he was going to take a couple years to raise his kids because
but 2028, the kids will be older, and maybe he would be ready to run.
I don't know. I think they might.
Yeah,
be young.
I remember you saying that.
I did a remote view. He was worried about his daughter. I guess his daughter was having some learning challenges.
Yeah, I remember you saying
he was very focused on.
Yeah.
He did not need to be running all over the place when his kids were in that kind of.
Supposedly, wasn't he Kamala Harris's first choice for VP, and he declined it for the reasons that you said?
The remote view seemed like he was on the fence, and he kept saying in the remote view, in the trance, my marriage. It was really easy to do it. I was like, this whole CIA.
He's such a good man.
It's a lot easier to get into his head than I thought, but it was just, he was like, my marriage is really important to me.
He's kind of,
like my family. He was nervous. He was almost like frightened that I'm going to be put into this situation and I'm going to have to choose between my husband and it's like, he was really torn. There was a part of him that felt he should run. And there was a part of him was like, I'm on thin ice right now. I remember that. I just felt like, you know what, this energy I'm feeling from him, he's got to go. He's got to take care of your family. And we'll see where you're at in another, 5-10 years.
Okay. Because I don't feel it's over for him. And maybe it just takes time for the rest of the country to be a little more accepting of him. Do you watch his videos on YouTube?
I do. And I think that he would be a great ambassador. If he chooses it, like to take an ambassadorship might also be a good position for him. You know what I mean?
Could be. But Mark Kelly, and we've talked about this before, and Gabby Giffords as the first lady, what a team they would be. My God, I smile thinking about it.
We could make him the ambassador to Malta.
Yeah.
That would be a nice position for him because he has that kind of aspect where he could spend a little time with his family, like maybe in Malta, develop an ambassadorship, which is great for someone former CIA. Yeah. And then when the family's a little bit older, the kids are off in college, he can go back to running. I think that would be perfect for him, would be like an ambassadorship or something like that.
Probably would be.
All right,
Do you think Mark Kelly?
Yeah, let's throw some cards on Mark Kelly.
Ooh, like my first card here.
Ooh.
I never know what I'm going to get. Well, my first two cards tell me, but okay, I'm just going to go with my two cards here because this literally jumped out when I asked the question. New beginnings. See the stars in the sky, the sunlight coming through the door, and also he's going to be a balancer. And this is reading the energy of the moment. Energy changes, but in this moment, I think things look good for him. What do you think, Whimsy?
I love Kamala, but I'm completely okay with her on the Supreme Court, AG.
I would be too.
At least she'll be able to have 4 years on the AG. We used to have, the AG used to stay for 10 years, and then it became so politicized, but 10 of Cups over to him, happy family, and the master. The other thing is major transformations. There's a spiritual transformation, and then he comes with the fire horse. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Mark Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he's a good choice.
I think he's a good choice. But, this is a case where he and his wife are both beloved heroes. They will be wonderful role models, both of them.
Now, here's a question that's come up a lot for people. They're very concerned about, well, you folks send me your questions, whimsyanderson@gmail.com or dransfieldchuck@gmail.com, and we will field your questions. So one of the questions that's come up quite a bit is the fears that people have around SCOTUS. As many of you know, we have a majority of the people who are sitting on the Supreme Court right now tend to be conservatives. I think it's 5-4, or possibly even 6-3.
I think it's 6-3.
Yeah, 5-3, no, 5-4 or 6-3, right? So the concern here is that while they've got control of the Senate, they could push to get more people they could push for Thomas to resign and have his seat replaced by a young conservative.
Well, isn't it also rumored that Thomas could be in the Epstein files also? Like he could be having a big downfall? Yeah.
Well, according to one of the victims, Sasha Barros, who I guess was trafficked out of Oklahoma, and then he was sold to this wealthy network, this loose network, which was associated with other creeps. But evidently at one of those parties, he saw Justice Thomas.
Yeah. I remember that now when I was listening to those interviews. Yeah, I feel like his days are numbered on the court. There's going to be a reckoning. We can't keep going with this super conservative majority.
I think we have to talk about this, though, because if you put yourself in the shoes of being a GOP strategist, they're getting very, very close to losing the Senate, and I don't know if they're going to be able to keep the Senate in 2026. So if I'm trying to push to hold on to a conservative court, I want my senior members resigning as fast as possible. If you've got a bad heart, I don't want you dragging it on until 2028. We'll be slaughtered in 2028.
I didn't think about that. That would be an easy out for any of them. Just make a health claim. Clarence Thomas, like you said, my heart, my bad heart, or whatever. They'll find excuses to resign in some sort of semblance of dignity or whatever.
And Kennedy is still there, right? Kennedy,
yes, I believe so.
So, and the Burroughs, what's his name? Starts with a B. Those are the three senior.
I'm trying to remember.
Three seniors. Let's get who's on SCOTUS right now.
Yeah.
But
we've talked about this also, how the Supreme Court keeps giving their power away to Donald Trump. And it's like that's going to come to bite them on the ass. How much power they've given away.
You know why people are freaking out? I just figured it out. Because Sotomayor's been having some health challenges.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's true. That's true. And oh God, that's the last thing we need is to lose one more of our liberal voices.
So most likely to resign in the next year or two is Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, and Sonia Sotomayor.
Yeah, I forgot about her. You're absolutely correct about that.
So we're in trouble. We're in serious
I almost
trouble.
wonder if she isn't clinging on the way Ruth Bader Ginsburg did. Just in the hopes that eventually a Democrat will be back in the White House.
I can see why I'm starting to see why I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare for us.
Well, I mean, already the court is so swayed.
Exactly. Can you imagine if it were 7-2?
Oh, God forbid.
Let's take a look.
God forbid.
She's got to be able to hold on till 2028.
Okay, so what are we reading for on?
I don't want anybody leaving the court until 2020, until we have a Democrat in the White House.
No, Whimsy, how do I phrase this question? Are we asking about Sotomayor specifically, or what are we asking?
I think the question is, do you see any major changes happening in SCOTUS before 2028? Are they going to get another, let's ask, are they going to get another Republican in there? Because I'm scared out of my wits. I'm so sorry we're looking at this even. I don't even want to look.
Well, I know, but I'm
Why
still.
Did you ask this question? Why'd you do this to us? Now we're gonna have nightmares. No,
I'm still pulling cards here, but the first one that came out was physical body upside down. I get somebody health is going to take them out, but
not good.
I know. Let me keep going here, but I wanted to say that because that said a lot right there, and I hope it's not referring to her. Oh God, it's not looking too good.
I know it's not.
You know why? I got the judgment card upside down. I don't feel good about that. The physical body card upside down, judgment card that's referring to the Supreme Court upside down.
I don't like this at all, you guys.
I don't like it either. There's going to be a lot of competition for the seats. I'm still pulling cards here. A lot's at risk right now. I'm just doing this live right now. I'm just pulling whatever's coming out of the deck. I'm trying to see if it has anything to tell me here. I'm getting like there's just a lot of instability right now and a lot of uprest because the peace card, the rest card, this was upside down also. It's like there's a lot of turmoil, but this really bothered me, the physical body card upside down. And then the judgment card upside down. No, so Whimsy, you're more specific with yours. What do you have?
I think that within 1 year, they're going to put another conservative on the Supreme Court. I'm sorry to say.
Good God.
Here's the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The lady in black, right? Here comes within 1 year, the opposition has victory.
Yeah, I was just
Hopes
feeling.
and fears, and then it goes with your cards, death, transformation, and then the end. So we're going to see another. They're going to put one more person on the Supreme Court. By 2028, one more. I think it's going to be Thomas. I don't know if let's check and see if Sotomayor is okay, because if it's Thomas, I can live with that because it's replaced.
Well, I'm just
with another conservative.
I got an idea. Once you do your cards, I'm going to do pendulum on that one.
Okay, let me just check Sotomayor if she's going to be okay.
So how should I phrase this? Is
Sotomayor going to be okay until 2028?
Sotomayor going to be okay until 2028.
I'm getting nervous.
Okay. Will Sotomayor still be on the court? Will she be on the court another year? 2 years. Okay. When I asked, is she going to be okay? I got no. And I said, is she going to be on the court in 2 years? I got like a maybe no. I said, is she going to be in the court another year? I got a yes.
Well,
what are you getting?
Well, she's diabetic and rumors that she's having vision problems, which is common.
Yeah. Something's not right. I was feeling that.
Yeah, but so if she goes blind or something like that, that's really a problem. So, you know, how long? Oh, she's thinking of her retirement and preparing for her retirement.
Yeah. Do you agree with what I got? Maybe one more year? Because I got a no in 2 years, and I got a strong no when
I don't have any wands and I have no swords, so I can't. Oh, there she is. Hold on a second.
Yeah, but it was a strong no. But
she's the sword holding.
Oh.
I'm really nervous. I have to be honest with you because the opposition had a 10 of cups, which is happy family, and 3 of pentacles is, you know, that's building something new. We have a page of pentacles with a lover's card. So it is possible that the next conservative they bring in will be a moderate in order to pass it in the Senate. So they're probably going to give us somebody who's leaning right of center, but not an extremist, because they're already starting to have opposition in the Senate from what I can see of these cards.
Yeah. You know, the immediate hit I got, if by a miracle the Democrats capture the Senate, that would probably be the only way they could get this person through, is to masquerade them as a moderate.
Yeah. With Lover's card, they're coming in. They're probably, whoever comes in, even if it's a conservative, there's going to be so much insane protest going on all over the country that they're going to have to pick a moderate, because this president is lame duck. I mean, and if somebody like J.D. Vance comes in, who's even going to be more of a lame duck, he is going to have problems putting anybody on the Supreme Court.
Probably. Certainly if the Democrats claim power that we're hoping they're going to have. That's why I said that would be the only way to get it through. A Democratic Democratic Senate, I meant to say. But you know, one of our
she wouldn't get in.
Yeah.
Republicans won't let Eileen Cannon in. I don't
You
think.
know, it's so I've seen several comments here about, well, could she still serve if she were blind? And I'm wondering, would Sotomayor be tenacious and stubborn enough to hang on even in a case like that? Because she could still listen, and she could certainly have people, read for her.
For her, it's an ethical issue. She will serve as long as she can serve, but she's preparing for her. It felt energetically like she was preparing for her resignation, and that she would do it in the most mature, responsible way.
Right. And which she is. She's a very responsible woman. I've seen her on talk shows. I admire her greatly. But and I was getting that strongly about a year. I got to know when I asked, will she see through the next 2 years?
Yeah. Well, she's already having some vision and health challenges.
Yeah, she is.
But I think that my goal for her would be that if she can just continue on for the next couple of years until the election.
I would hope so. I would say she would even hope so.
I don't think that, but I think
she knows the gravitas of this.
But I think Thomas is on thin ice.
Oh yeah, and he deserves to be on thin ice. Horrible man.
Yeah. It's amazing, though. In a way, he's kind of Thomas. You could argue that he's kind of like Teflon Don in the sense that so many horrible things have come out about him early on that nothing surprises or has a major impact. He didn't go in there looking like Mr. Robbins. Robbins' Neighborhood? Mr. Roberts' Neighborhood.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Excuse me. Oh, my God. I swear I'm becoming like Trump.
We both are. Don't worry about it.
Rogers' Neighborhood, yeah.
But I'm even thinking about Clarence Thomas going back to what was it, 1991, when he had his confirmation hearings?
Yeah.
All the stuff. Oh, it was Anita Hill, right? Was that the woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff that came out, and he still got appointed to the Supreme Court. So he's never been a saint right from the very beginning. He's had a scorched legacy.
Yeah, it's well managed, but people get older, and even if it's well managed, it's just people get older, and they have to start thinking about their legacy and the point at which they have to step down.
I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg, if she had to do it over again,
that was her pressure with Obama. That was the pressure. Obama was like, "Come on, man, we're running out of time here," and it really messed us up.
But then I wonder if Mitch McConnell and the Republicans would have stolen the nomination like they did with his appointment with Merrick Garland. And wasn't there another appointee of Obama's that didn't get through because they stalled it?
I don't know. They were
Mitch McConnell just stole it. I mean,
embarrassing.
Another horrible human being. Can you do a card? I'm sure that means pool, right? Card pool on Nancy Guthrie, please. I'm so worried about her. I think many of us are. Whimsy, you've talked about this before because we're both empaths and we get visions. And you've told me sometimes it's difficult for you because you're so sensitive, and sometimes it's heartbreaking, some of the visions you get. I still am sensing she's living. But this morning, I'm going to confess, I was tapping in and I was feeling suffering and pain and despair and fear. I don't know if it was just her or the whole family. And of course, I watched the press conference. Well, I don't know if you call it a press conference. Yeah, it was with who was the police officer who's, I don't know if he's in charge of the investigation.
There was a lot of blood dripping off. I mean,
they said that. They said they found blood and they did a testing of it, and through DNA testing, what is her blood. They did find that. It was a forceful entry. Let's see, what else did they say? They said that her doorbell, the last she was seen was when the family dropped her off at 10 p.m. They had dinner together. And they said that it was around 1:47, her doorbell camera was disconnected. And then there was something about another camera being smashed or something happened to it. And also her pacemaker, there was an app. I think she had an iWatch or something. I don't know what it was connected to, but it was connected to an app. And it lost connection like 2 something in the morning. She was apparently abducted in her sleep. And then, the family became suspicious and worried when she didn't show up for church.
I felt like like I freaked out, began screaming, and then I began to throw things at them.
Yeah.
And there were 3 of them. There were 3 assailants, and I began to throw things, and then they grabbed my arm and they tried to control me, and I began to screaming, and then they knocked me this way and punched me and punched my nose, and they said, "We didn't mean for that to happen." And then they drugged me, and then I started bleeding from my nose, and then the blood, that was how the blood wound up on the sidewalk.
Well, I just feel.
But I was throwing things as her. I was like throwing my heavy stuff by anything I could throw. I began throwing.
Fear. I could feel it so much this morning, where it was really upsetting me. The woman is suffering right now. And I think Savannah Guthrie said that her mother is on heavy pain medication, and also because of her pacemaker, she has to take medication for her heart. And it's been said that going even 24 hours could be fatal.
Very dangerous, because this is something that we talked about, I think, when you were going through your finals. But
yes.
If you get off a beta blocker, I mean, it can really disrupt, and you have an arrhythmia. It's very, very dangerous. You can induce a heart attack.
Incredibly. Yeah. I was picking up on pain and suffering, and that was before I saw the video. Yeah, I saw the press conference this morning live, and then I saw Savannah Guthrie's video, and she said, "My mother doesn't even have her pain medication right now." And
God, why would you want to hurt somebody like that?
Why?
You can't figure out another way to get money?
Well, we were getting, when we were doing the show Tuesday, for want of a better word, I was picking up like these were amateurs, like these were not savvy kidnappers. These were people like, "Oh, let's kidnap the celebrity's mother and get some quick money." And they didn't realize what they were getting themselves into. Because right now the FBI is on this. Even Donald Trump is in on this right now. The world is on this right now.
I saw 3 males, and they were white guys, by the way. Yeah. And one of them had long hair, brown. But what I can be as specific as possible as a remote viewer. But I remember thinking, like, let's just dump her. Let's just dump the old lady, man.
Yeah.
We're not going to get any money from these people. Let's just dump her. Where? At the freaking bus stop. So I was going to take my car, throw her out, leave her at the bus stop, and let people find her and drive off. That thought was in my head as the kidnapper. So at this point, they're pretty damn scared.
Yeah. Well, they could be facing murder charges soon.
Let's throw some cards.
Okay.
Long brown hair, male, white.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're related to, possibly siblings or somehow related.
Now, how should I phrase this, Whimsy, please?
How is she doing? Is she going to get released soon? Is she going to get
Well, I don't know if she's going to get released, but I got a little emotional about this. I'm getting survival, but see how the person is in despair. They're all alone in the water, in the boat. Not saying that's what's her, but it's like she's alive. She's surviving, but she's in a dark, dark place of despair right now.
The kidnappers are very confused. They don't know what to do. They tentatively are reaching out to the police, and one of them is calling the police. We're calling, we have her, we don't know what to do. We're kind of confused. 7 of Cups.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you have this death and transformation, hopes and fears. The whole world is watching, and 4 of Wands.
Yeah, the world is watching now.
Possibility that one of the kidnappers confesses and surrenders.
Yeah, because I'm getting like lots of decisions are going around on their part. For whatever it's worth, the family card came up for me. That's kind of obvious, but what's going to happen with her?
I think they're going to surrender and turn her over, most likely, because
I'm hoping so.
Like for hopes of mercy that they don't spend the rest of their life in a prison.
Yeah, because I'm getting vague things here, and I'm thinking it's because I could be a little emotionally attached to the outcome here, and that's affecting my ability to read for this. But I like what you're saying, but I definitely get that I'm getting she's alive, but she's in great despair. I felt that strongly this morning, to where it brought me to tears this morning. And I thought about you when you said you've had difficulties like this.
Yeah.
Read for others. I could just feel her agony.
I feel
She's
like
confused. She's
I
so
feel like
frightened.
I want to call the cops and say
Yeah.
what my involvement is and just surrender so that and cooperate with the
Yeah.
police, and maybe they'll show me mercy,
Yeah.
like as one of the kidnappers. So there's something going on with that.
Well, you know what I'm also worried about, her heart is fragile.
Yeah.
And to be putting her through this kind of stress and ordeal. I hope you're right, Whimsy. I hope you turn over.
Well, I mean, they've already put her through so much.
I know.
Wow. Well, this was a hell of a day today. I really appreciate you working with me today. This was an
I love working with you, Whimsy. I mean, it's just, we tend to run the gamut when we do readings like this, because we try to be as honest as we can possibly be and just say what we're feeling. And, this is a heavy topic we're closing on, but hopefully it is going to have a happy ending. But I do worry about her heart. I worry about that poor woman going through such stressful ordeal, how she's going to come out of this. But
somebody, I'm getting another comment over here on one of our people said, could we please do throw cards on the Super Bowl before we close? Yes.
Okay.
We had hi, you guys. Yes. One of our Instagram people.
I have never thrown cards on football teams.
Okay, so
I don't know what I'm going to get here.
Well, hold on. Before we do this, who's running?
Well,
it's the New England Patriots
and the
Seattle Seahawks.
New England
and I'm from Seattle, so I got to back Seattle Seahawks.
I think I know who you're backing, Whimsy. And I said something to you before the show that probably wouldn't be too popular here. I'm not a football fan. I don't care about the Super Bowl, and I know how unpopular that is. And what's really weird, I come up from a family of diehard football fans. I'm the one person in the family who doesn't give a damn. I don't care.
I think that I think people are very excited because I put your guys' question up.
Yeah. You know what I do love? I love the enthusiasm. I love the parties. I love that people do care about this and get excited. I love that my family gets excited about it.
It's a lot of people that are really excited about this question. See, we don't think about it. So if you, we, of course we can throw on it, but
I wouldn't know how to.
I mean, like, well, I would love, you know what I love about the Seattle Seahawks were the people that hired Eugene Levy. He did the commercials for the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. When it was when they were trying to make the playoffs like 20 years ago, they hired Eugene Levy, and he played the devil, and he was trying to get them to sell their soul. It was like these little sketches they were doing with Eugene Levy. So it was really exciting to have Eugene Levy playing Satan, and he was like, "Sell your soul, and I'll give you the."
Is that on YouTube? I'll look for it.
Yeah, he's driving around with a golf cart, and he's dressed like Satan, and they're like, he's like trying to seduce the Seattle Seahawks. So,
well, you know what, Whimsy, in your honor, I'm going to root for the Seattle Seahawks and hope.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. All right, who's going to win? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the cards for the Seattle Seahawks and see how they did.
Well, you know what? Maybe this says it. My first card. I got the bravado card. I think it kind of looks good for them. But what are you getting, Whimsy?
You're only going to take one card. All right, Seattle.
Well, don't you think that says it? Bravado.
All right. Seattle Seahawks. Transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want it to be New England Patriots.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe the reason I got bravado is maybe that's their spirit, their fighting spirit.
Let's do New England Patriots next. I love New England, but come on, let Seattle have it one time.
I don't know if I have even the right cards to be doing this. I've never done this before. Football teams.
New England Patriots.
Look what came out of my deck for whatever it is worth. Victory.
Oh, really?
What did you get, Whimsy? But maybe I'm wrong, but this is what came out of my deck.
I'm gonna say we've got a tie. We've got a tie here. He's saying New England. I'm gonna say just because of emotional reasons, the Seahawks. It looks like it's a confusing game. What I can't figure out is why are they playing in California? Is it because the weather?
Maybe.
Can they do that? Can they change the location based on
guess. I don't know. I just don't follow this. I don't know. But it's interesting. I got bravado for the Seahawks, meaning that's probably their fighting spirit, their attitude right now. But this was the card that fell out, victory. And we said, what's going to happen?
Okay, well, we have to accept that. That's
well,
the card.
My
card is confusion. But I'm feeling good about the Seattle Seahawks. But again, it could be total bias. Let me throw another.
It could be bias. It's like what I said to you about reading for Nancy. I felt like maybe I'm a little emotionally attached to the outcome. That's why it was hard for me to read, because when we're doing readings, we have to be objective.
Right.
It's the reason I can't read for my own self very well, because I'm often too attached to answers.
I feel good about Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, well, let's go for that. Maybe my deck of cards is just full of it. I don't know. But
yeah, we've decided that we want it to be the Seahawks, so it's going to be the Seahawks. There you go.
However, if we do the show on Tuesday and they win, I just might go, so what?
Yeah, victory for the Seahawks.
But I'm going to root for the Seahawks for you.
Yeah, we had request to ask that question, and then I had told you we have to remember, and then we did the opening was the Seahawks song, or was the thing, because I knew that we had that question. Because if I didn't remind you or you didn't remind me, we wouldn't throw that question, just because we're not into football, but we understand that you are. So.
Yeah, I acknowledge it's not a popular stance. My family thinks I'm like, how could I have been born into this family? We're talking hardcore football fans,
right?
And I'm like, take it or leave it at all. It's never interested me.
Well, maybe we should watch. All right, you guys.
I'll watch for you, Whimsy.
Thank you, everyone. Chuck, please tell everybody how they.
How you can reach me. Well, my name is not on there right now, but it is Dransfield Chuck, one word, at gmail.com. I don't know where my name went, but I'm sure by now you know how my name's spelled. Dransfield Chuck at gmail.com. Thank you. I love doing readings for people. It's one of the great loves of my life. I do artwork for people. I do commissioned portraits. Often I read messages from the subject, and that includes pets. I did a cat portrait for someone recently. And I also have my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, and a little chat show on Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, Chuck's Captivating Chat. And Whimsy?
Yeah, if you'd like to have a reading with me, you can book me through Booksy. I'm a medical intuitive, remote viewer, naturopathic doctor, tarot card reader, Vedic astrologer.
You do it all.
Do it all. And all that information you can find in the description of this video if you'd like to book me through Booksy. All right, I guess that's it for our show today.
Okay.
Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next. Go.
See you next Tuesday. Yeah, Seahawks. Go. Okay.